Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Overcoming Graduation with Brian Drury, a show where I work to teach you everything I wished I'd known about life to help you graduate to the next level in your own. Today is another installment of the Morning Commute, a new series I'm doing where I use my commutes either to and from work or to wherever I'm going on the weekends to capture a small but powerful lesson, a little shorter lesson that I can share, something I've learned, something I read, that I hope will be of benefit to you in helping you live a greater, more enchanting is the word that comes to mind, but not exactly what I was going for, empowering and then enchanting. You know what? No, I do want your life to be enchanting. So this is a shorter series to give you some more bite-sized things rather than my longer form interviews that we typically do on the show to help you kick off your day or continue your day with some power, with a shift, or maybe it's just that little boost you need after a rough day. That's what I hope this is. So many podcasts have done that for me, and this is what I'm hoping to bring to all of you. So today, I want to talk about your unique ability. And this is a very interesting concept because we can get so hung up in trying to figure out what we want to do with our lives, what's our purpose, that we go into paralysis through analysis. We analyze to the point where we don't take any action, try anything different, or do anything new. One of my favorite quotes is from Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love. I heard her interviewed on a podcast. She is phenomenal. Just if you haven't heard her interviewed or I haven't read her book, honestly, it's like I only heard her interview, but her interview was phenomenal. Her perspective on things was really enlightening and just refreshingly new. And one of my favorite points that I have never heard this said before, she said, "Don't follow your passion." And she paused and I went, well, what the fuck? Yeah. That's not quite what you hear in the personal development world. Find your passion, follow your passion. You got to find your passion. And then once you find it, everything will be clear. Which, let's dive into that after I finish the quote. She goes, "Don't follow your passion, follow your curiosity." So I rocked back a little bit. And I know the best quotes, the best messages, the best speeches, they give me that rockback moment. The holy shit where you either sit up straight in your chair or you lean back in your chair and you go, oh my God, that's me. Or I haven't seen this until just now. Like, that's what I've been experiencing. That's what I've been putting myself through. That's what I've been refusing to see. That's what I've been refusing to say. All of a sudden, one sentence, one little line can change your life forever. So don't follow your passion, follow your curiosity. And so I started to think about the times in my life when I tried to follow my passion. And what's really interesting is as I went back, every time that I tried to follow my passion, I would go, well, what is my passion? What is that one thing I want to do with my life? And the answer would inevitably be, I don't want to do just one thing. I want to do lots of things. And I don't know which things I like yet because there's so many things I haven't tried. So where do I even begin? And I don't even know. Boom. Hit the wall, distracted, numb. Because that's what would normally be my pattern when I was younger was, I can't figure this shit out. It's too complex. It's too hard. Stop. Your brain feels overwhelmed. You go into fight or flight. Your amygdala gets triggered. We've talked about that in a couple of the recent morning commutes, that when we hit things that seem so big that they challenge our existing identity, even if they're things we want, your fight or flight response gets triggered and you try to run away. Whether that's just numbing by watching some Netflix, drinking some beers, doing some heroin, I don't know. It could be any of those. It could be watching porn. It could be all kinds of things. It could just be getting into a very long conversation that you don't really want to have, but you'd much rather do that than face the uncomfortable reality you're avoiding. It's interesting because we don't look at a lot of these habits as bad or these behaviors as bad. Some of them are just like, oh, yeah, no, it's okay to just have a beer. It's like, sure. Absolutely. It is definitely okay to have a beer here and there. It's okay to have drinks. It's okay to, for some people, it is okay to watch porn. It is not an unhealthy behavior. But when it's being used to avoid and distract from what you really want to be doing in your life, that's where it's unhealthy. An interesting thing, too, just a little side note on addiction before we get back to your unique purpose and follow your passion versus follow your curiosity. What is very interesting that people will do when it comes to the distraction and the numbing, we will find ways to justify and rationalize why that's okay, why we deserve it, why it makes sense to do it right now. Like, listen, man, you've had a crazy week. And another quote I heard, I'm not sure where from, I always love to cite my sources, but another quote that I heard was that the best excuses seem very rational to you. The best excuses in your head seem totally logical, and your brain takes it to the point where it seems almost ludicrous for you to not want to avoid doing that thing. It's like, oh, I'd really love to work out. Oh, but you don't want to get injured. I mean, think about it. A lot of people that work out, they suffer really bad injuries, and then they have lingering problems for the rest of their life. You're like, what? You're going to put yourself through that? That's crazy. And you go, you're right, brain. I am going to sit on the couch, eat Cheetos, and then just guzzle down a bucket of... I wanted to go with lard. I was seeing a little too graphic, so, I mean, the KFC came next. I'm like, you don't really guzzle that, but you get the imagery. It's like, we will rationalize away what we want to stay in our comfort zone. So that's what it looks like when you're trying to follow your passion, because most people don't know what it is. And here's an interesting converse. Some people, I would say, are so certain that they're too certain. And bear with me, because I know it's like, well, how could you be too certain of what you want to do? I think there is a level of total certainty and clarity on this is what I want to be doing right now. But I believe the people that are the most successful have flexibility. That they're like, in this moment, this is exactly what I want to do, and I'm going to lean in, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to put everything I have into this. But when that feeling shifts, or when they're called somewhere else, they don't go, no, but I said I was going to do this, and this is what I'm going to do, so I'm staying here even though I don't want it anymore. They have that flexibility and that openness to adjust to something different, something that will be better, something that will enhance them more. Whereas, it's the person who's like, I want to be a doctor their whole life. And they go, I want to be a doctor. Great. And they go through school getting perfect marks. They sacrifice other opportunities because their grades are critical because they want to get into the best school. And then they do. They get into the best college available. They crush it. They avoid other opportunities or sacrifice other opportunities because, hey, anything that we want to do in life will take sacrifices. It's just a matter of what sacrifices you're willing to make. And some things you're sacrificing you don't want. So it's not even, doesn't even feel like a sacrifice to let go of that thing. And then they get in the best medical school, crush it in medical school, and they get placed in the best hospital in the world. And now that they're a doctor, they realize they fucking hate it. That the thing they've been working for their whole damn life, and they put everything into, and they've sacrificed everything you can imagine to make it happen. Their relationships, their health at times, which is interesting because they're a doctor, a medical professional. They've sacrificed it all, and holy fuck, it doesn't make me happy. Holy shit. Now what? What a lot of people do, and a lot of people feel trapped in, is they go, well, I got more debt than you can imagine for all these schools and all these, and I have to do it. And I always said I wanted to do this thing, and now I'm here. What would people think of me if I suddenly changed my mind? What would it mean if I just let go of this thing after all this time? Like, am I really going to do that to myself? Am I going to do that to my family? Am I going to do that to my loved ones? We go through all this rationale when in reality it's like, dude, does this make you happy? Is this really what you want to be doing? Because odds are, if you know full well this is not what you want to be doing, and you keep doing it, your work is going to suffer, your health is going to suffer, your motivation. And as a doctor, we want a doctor, and I think every person can agree, we want a doctor to be 100% in there and engaged. But really think about people that do work that isn't necessarily life critical. They may not be dealing with life or death every day, but a person who's 100% engaged in their job at anything. It could be at like Pottery Barn, and they just fucking love pots. It lights you up about life. Like, you get excited. You're like, I want to love something that much, whatever it is. Like, I don't care if it's a ficus. Like, I want to love something that much. And the really interesting thing is the converse of, maybe not converse, but just another method, another way of going about this search for what you're really meant to do and what you really want to do with your life, is following your curiosity. Because following your passion leads to a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. There's a lot of pressure around the word passion that we pin on kids, especially in college, like, figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. What most college kids have no idea about, I certainly did not, is nobody has a fucking clue. Nobody has it all figured out. Nobody has this exact clear purpose and mission statement, an idea. Like, everyone is figuring it out as they go. And I think the people who have the most success and the most fun are open to new opportunities and new experiences and things that they never even considered before. By diving in and following their curiosity, they found something they liked, and then they leaned in more, and then they were like, I really like this part of it, and I don't like that so much, so I'm going to do more of this. And they iterated over and over, and they tested, and then suddenly they were like, I fucking love what I do. This is incredible. Seems like an accident or luck to people looking out from the outside in, but very rarely is it actually that. Sure, sometimes people go, hey, I just fell into it, and it was perfect. That can happen. But that's generally not the way this game goes. So, when you follow your curiosity, here's how it looks. You say, I want to take a salsa class. And you do. And you try it. You give it a whirl. And maybe you like it, maybe you don't. You say, I want to try cooking class. I want to try this. I really would love to work at a company that has a charitable component, or maybe is a charity. And you try it. You don't try to have it all figured out. You don't try to know everything before you take action. You take action and you learn as you go. And then, through learning as you go, this is where you discover your unique ability, because you start to realize what lights you up, what brings you joy, what you're really good at naturally, and where you want to grow, not where you think you have to grow to get the job, and I gotta learn this. Hey, sometimes you will have to learn things that really aren't that exciting to you to really achieve the things you want to in your life. But there's a lot of times we spend a lot of time on a lot of shit because we think we're supposed to, and we should, and we have to. And we don't spend time on the things we really want to, that would bring us one step closer to being, not just being in, but really fucking living the life that we've always wanted to. So, when it comes to these things that you're avoiding because you can't find your passion, take more action. It doesn't have, well, how's salsa going to help me in my job? It's helped me a fuck ton in my job. Here's why. Who do you want to talk to in an interview? The person who's a robot, or the person who's an Irish ginger salsa teacher who speaks Spanish? You might say the other dude. I've had a lot of interviews that have just been about how I teach salsa. It turned out, and I never did it for that. I did it because I loved it, and it brought joy, and it brought stress relief, and it brought the best friends, and it's enabled me to have a new community in California instantly. And it's how I met a girl I'm seeing. Like, it's all these crazy things that came about that I never would have known had I not taken the step. So, guys, today I want to challenge you to take the step. I want to challenge you to try one of those things. Just book it. Put it on the calendar. I know it's uncomfortable. I've done it so many times because I want to help you do it. And literally right now, I just pulled into a parking spot at a bachata class out here in Orange County, and I'm about to go have a fucking blast. So I love you guys. I want you to take that action because I know how much more rich my life has been since I have done that. So I want you to come along on this journey. I also want you, either if you're in Southern California, to come, or if you know people who are, to share it with them that my friend Jonathan Fisher and I will be putting on a live event called Beyond Belief. And it is coming up quickly this June 30th, 2018. It's going to be in Santa Monica, California, an all-day event from 8:45 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we are going to be showing people and teaching people how to live a life that is beyond belief in health, wealth, and relationships. In that day, we are going to make sure that you are taking action and already moving towards a life that is beyond belief within that day-long session. So we want you to come. We want you to bring people, because this is an event that can transform people's lives. And we are charging only $47 because we want as many people to come to this and be able to experience this as possible. A lot of these events, they charge a lot more. And John and I have even said, we should be charging more because of the value we're bringing. But this first event, we are charging it low because we want as many people to come as possible. So share this, please. If you are inspired by these messages, it is something that it means the world to me. But also, I want you to have that sense of urgency to support people, because you guys support me. I want to support you, and I want that support to be reciprocal in as many ways as possible. And if you help me and John to promote this event, to get it out to as many people, we will be able to serve so much more. So thank you guys for listening. If you want to pick up your tickets, visit overcominggraduation.com or click the link in the show notes. Otherwise, that's it. Let's do it. Let's go out. Let's be curious. Let's have fun with life. Let's experiment. And what's that one thing today you can do to push yourself out of your comfort zone to something you've always dreamt of? I love you guys. Have a great day.